20, 10, retard, retard, retard.
So, welcome back. That's how quickly we change the streams. Quick rundown of the planning. So, we're flying from Copenhagen to Bergamo, flight time hour 10. The weather is as follows. So, right now in Copenhagen, 040 at 10, which means 4 left is for landing, 4 right for departure. 3 degrees, and Bergen right now, northerly winds, scatter 400, scatter 1000, 1/1. Let's approach Whiskey runway 35. Okay, so the only issue we have today is as follows. So we just got onto the aircraft, and hey, Pilot Aviation, how you doing? And V-Chris, hello. And Pilot Aviation, thank you so much for the raid. I hope I had a great stream. Big shout out to Pilot Aviation, please. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we're flying the FENIX from Copenhagen to Bergen on VATSIM. And we've got some friends with us. So that's fine. Now the question was whether or not real time or Florian, I got your request. I will reply that, of course. No worries. Okay, so again, the technical logbook would look sometimes like this. So maybe not exactly like that, but somewhere in that kind of format where you have different items on there. So technical issues that have not been repaired. And so we would find, for example, an MEL item, so handicap item, and it says it affects non-ETOP. It's a non-ETOP flight. However, it does affect ETOPs, which is today not the issue. However, RMP approach operations are not permitted, and the item is as follows. So during the cruise flight, flight control unit ECAM auto flight control unit 2 fault, computer reset according reset table unsuccessful. Maintenance action, ground reset also unsuccessful, FCU 2 failed and needs to be replaced. Circuit breaker FCU 2 at Mike 21 pulled and secured. And the aircraft is dispatched according to MEL. Attention crew operation procedures required. And we'll have a look in a minute why that is. What I'm going to use now is the FSI panel to pop that circuit breaker. And that way I don't have to search for it. I just go CB panel and then scroll down to auto flight, double click FCU 2, fail now, and that's it. And now we can see auto flight flight control unit 2 fault. And if we go and search for the circuit breaker, you can see that here flight control unit 2 is popped. So normally that would have a collar around it, a white one, showing that maintenance has done some actions on that and pulled, or a red one saying that yeah, don't touch that. It's maintenance action that has caused that. So let me go on to there. So for us, when we have a MEL item that's open and it says operating procedure required, we'll have a look, and All it says, though, is that RMP approaches are not permitted. And if you remember the workshop file that I made regarding RMP approaches, it has something in there regarding required equipment for these kind of approaches. And I can show you that on here. So approaches using final approach guidance. Minimum equipment to start an RMP approach is 1 FMS, 1 GPS, 2 IR units, 1 MCDU, 1 flight director, 1 primary flight display, 2 nav display units, and we need 2 flight control channels. In case you're wondering, okay, so what is a flight control unit channel? Just check if free. Just checking. MAN should be here. There we go. And there is another aircraft there. Beautiful. Well, I don't know exactly what maintenance does, but obviously they will do their checks, and then yeah, if they can't fix it, then they look at if they can dispatch it according to MEL. Usually it's about 10 days where they have to fix it. There we go. Tremonti on A17, nice. Right. We'll do a very quick preparation so that we don't have our friends waiting for too long up in Bergen, because it's 10 o'clock here in Germany. So let's go flight init request. And Sanders, that's your home airport. Nice. So obviously, when you have the problem that we have right now, no RMP approach is possible. Well, you would check your approach options, right, as a precaution, and then maybe have a look at weather conditions, and then see if there's anything you can do to maybe just have an alternate airport that has good weather, and that way you don't risk putting yourself in a position that you can't get out of anymore, and then having to do an approach that's not legal. Right, quick
Good
recap.
night, Black
Lilo,
Box.
take care. Good night. So the flight control unit is located on the glare shield and is there for short-term interface between flight crew and the flight management guidance computer. It's used to select any flight parameters, modify those selected in the MCDU. The autopilots and auto thrust functions may be engaged or disengaged through the FCU. You can have managed modes, selected modes. We all know that. And you can see here a diagram. So flight control unit obviously directly connects to the flight management guidance computers. Yeah, the nav displays are obviously connected to the EFIS control panel, which are on the side of the FCU. So you have that green part in the middle. Those are then for the automatic flight controls, while on the sides you have the EFIS control panel. But the whole panel here is the FCU. And then you have a certain philosophy around that, but we don't want to dive too deep into that. But the flight control unit, as you will see, is actually very important, obviously. Cool. Then let's go and prepare the MEC-DO. The cost next is 18. We have a cruising level filed of 380. And the temperature up there is -58. And we'll have a look for the fuel and weight, etc. So for that, we go, no, config, Where is it? AOC menu. Config. There we go. Fuel. So, what fuel do we require? We require 6.2 block fuel. So 6.2. And we have a zero fuel weight of around about 58.3. So we set up 144 passengers. Not quite there yet, so let's do 155. And 56. Let's do then let's do 15 kilograms of cargo. And there we go. That's close enough. 58 tons. Yaroslav, good evening. How are you doing? King Creed, hello to you. Yeah, so correct. So the MEL is actually there when you're on blocks. So the moment that you taxi on with your own engine power, the MEL can be disregarded, but obviously you wouldn't totally disregard it. You would still consult it and think whether or not it makes sense to actually depart or not. So let's go ground services, mass and balance, load the aircraft, instant, complete, dismiss. So now we've got those values, fantastic. So we'll send the load sheet again and we'll use those values. Start the APU. So we have our flight plan filed, which means I'm going to try to get the clearance via CPDLC. ATC request, pre-departure clearance. ATIS information is Kilo. Echo, Kilo, Charlie Hotel is the station. Gate number, where are we? So look, Alpha 11. And then let's send that off. Is there any difference between the A320 and A320 air conditioning panel? Yeah, there could be some minor differences. For example, you don't have that pack flow selector. You just may have a button where it says Econ flow. So there may be some minute differences, yeah. So we know that it's going to be 4 right for departure. So we do expect Olga 3 Alpha departure. At least that was filed. And then Bergen will expect the ILS Whiskey 35 according to the ATIS. Bad up. To Papa or to November. Let's see. B. Chris, how are you? I'm kind of looking nervously at what you're doing there, B. Chris. Nah, don't worry, all good. I think I fixed everything again. I'm not sure if all the settings are back to normal. Right, so that's one of the arrivals. I think that's what we're going to take. So the to Papa arrival. So to Papa and then approach via Godit. Insert. Fantastic. Cool. That's all completed. Tower is 119.35. All right, let's try that. Now, before I do, I need to make sure I have all the audio settings correct. How do you set a ring around an airport in the A320? I'll show you that in a minute. So audio. All set. Testing 1, 2, 3. Apply, and then we want to have push to talk.
Copenhagen Tower, Lufthansa 344, LS 0
Lufthansa 344, Castle Tower, good evening, wind 040 at 9 knots, continue approach, number 1.
Lufthansa 344.
So I can hear everything clearly, I just need to have that push to talk button set, otherwise it's not going to work nicely.
Captain Tower, this is Bergen 779 here, request push and start.
Bergen 779, Squawk More Charlie, push and start approved, face western, Whiskey QNH 1019.
Push and start approved, facing south towards taxiway. Towards taxiway Whiskey, and my squawk is 7025,
No! Oh, I'm so
and I will
stupid.
set that in,
No!
in a moment.
Oh no. Oh.
Now that's how pros do
Oh, shut up. Right. Let's see. Hi, Black Box. Your stream looks very smooth in my eyes. Some reflections today. I had a 7-hour flight. My sim closed. And oh no, that's really tough, Christian. Is it possible to get any A320 QRH FCOMs? Yeah, you may find some older FCOMs, maybe some MEL stuff, but of course I can't give you any of that. So yeah, but yeah, I've seen some FCOMs floating around from I think it was Qatar Airways or something. But yeah, obviously, you know, these things are not openly available for good reason. I know, MAN. I was just connecting my controller, and I was looking for actually apply and save or something, but it seen that prompt, so I just said back. And yeah, my finger was quicker than my brain. Using the kinds of stream as training. Well, no, I wouldn't say training, but obviously, well, what it has helped me with is that I look at, you know, certain procedures or certain infos again regarding system knowledge. So it does keep me on my toes a bit better, you know, and that's obviously something you can do very well here in The Sims. Yeah, Martin, I will do. Yeah. Always appreciated. VIP treatment, for sure. You flew wonderful Romeos today from Malta. Had no DCD. Yes, correct. There's some 319s floating around that have no DCDU. And I'm not sure. Now, I don't know exactly the legal side. What's happening with the... Oh, come on. Sorry. Yeah, my Microsoft is frozen. I don't know about the legal side of CPDLC when you have to have that installed in all the aircraft, but obviously you can still fly around without that. Flight MT. Yeah, exactly. The new Microsoft beta release today gets rid of the snow in all the taxiway and runways. Nice. Okay, cool. Anybody, so Bob, maybe, or anybody else, has any of you heard about any plans regarding, implementation of correct inertia, mass simulation, that sort of stuff? Hey, Nico. Because that to me is just seems so important. Can't be. So I know that I've flown these older aircraft without CPDLC in all regions in Europe. So the failure today that we're going to have is going to be quite interesting because we've talked about the importance of pilots maintaining a good kind of in-practice status, meaning, with manual flying. Now, with manual flying, obviously, I don't just mean manual flying and follow the flight directives. I mean manual flying just using raw data indications, so no flight directives. Why is that important? Because obviously with certain system failures, you may get into the situation where the aircraft is going to kind of go down in automation to a level where it may be in alternate law and then with the landing gear down in direct law, or it may go with raw data indications where you may not have any guidance available, and maybe you don't even have an MCDU available at some point. So it's important to keep you up to date with these things. Zishka, hey, how you doing? But that's a way to get away feeling... Well... Yeah, but no, do you know what, Zishka? I don't think so. So yes, you can adjust sensitivity in your flight controls. It still doesn't change inertia, or the feel for inertia. So it's something that would need to be done by a SOBO. Alright, so in the basic setup of the simulator. Right, let me just quit that. And then let's start the FENIX, and let's start vPilot. And also the panel again. So connect. And then I'm going to be told that we're late, which we know. And we failed the flight control unit number 2CE. Perfect. All right. Almost back as we were. Oh, the flight model. No, Tishkin. No, I know it's the modern. You mean the modern version or the... I know what you mean. But no, it's not the same. Trust me. I wish it were that simple. Yeah, no worries, MAN. I'll be with you in like 5 minutes. I'll be very quick here. Record time preparations incoming. Right, FCU fault, as we talked about. Maintenance has dispatched the aircraft.
Got approved facing west on Yankee QNH 1019, Scandinavian 693.
Come on. You can do it. There it is, available. Castro Tower, good afternoon or good evening from Scandinavian 711. Information Kilo, request clearance please.
Scandinavian 711, it seems like you got hold of the arrival ATIS. I need you to look at the departure ATIS with this information Lima. Anyways, information Lima current cleared to Bergen via the Golka 3 Alpha departure out runway 04 right, squawk 5202.
We're clear to Bergen, Golka 3 Alpha departure out of 4 right, squawk 0520, and we have now information Lima on board. Thank you, Scandinavian 711.
Scandinavian 711, read back correct.
So, 0520.
Delivery hello, Danish 86 Papa MD82 Alpha 12 information Lima, request clearance.
Danish 86 Papa Castor Tower, hello. Information Lima is indeed correct. Cleared to Midtjylland Lufthavn via the Oden 3 Alpha departure, 04 right, squawk 5172.
So again, that was...
Midtjylland Lufthavn, Oden 3 Alpha departure, squawk 5172, Danish 86.
So the distance ring...
Danish 86 Papa, read back correct.
You go to flight plan, click on the one left, fix info, and then you can go enter, for example, a runway or the airport, wherever you like, and then radius
779, taxi via
25, and that will give you that range.
Crush runway 30.
There we go. That's how quickly you do that. Alrighty, so
Danish 74 Papa, ready to
APA.
start.
Danish 74 Papa, QNH 1019, push start approved.
1019, push start approved, Danish 74 Papa.
So we're going to load the aircraft. Instant.
Clear to taxi.
Dismiss, resend the load sheet.
Romeo Bravo, and
That's
clear
all
to cross
done.
runway 30.
Paragraph. So ground charts.
Danish 86 Papa, request
Airports.
startup of power back.
Here we are.
Danish 86 Papa,
Welcome now.
start up approved,
Captain
QNH
Blackbox
1019.
Hey, Thomas!
subscriber experience.
There he is. Are you
Could
controlling
new
tonight,
subscribers
right?
please make their way to the first class cabin?
Oh, you
where
weren't online,
complimentary
okay.
drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you so much for the 10 months here on YouTube. Thank you so much. So Golga 3 Alpha departure. So that's an out of departure, out of 4 right, track extended runway center line to Charlie Hotel 840, then 841, 842, and then Mirgo, and then Golga. Initial climb 70, goes in here.
You're very much welcome. Thank you for flying. Hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.
So, anyone know how to get rid of that message for a longer period of time, so that it doesn't annoy us all the time?
And Scandinavian 693, request taxi.
Scandinavian 693, taxi
red
to
button,
holding
that one here.
04 right, via taxiway Yankee, Alpha, Charlie and Bravo, cross
Yeah,
runway
so
37.
turn off the screen, GG, yeah? Almost correct. Now what you can do is press that for 3 seconds or more, and then it will cancel these things. So we call that putting that into the cellar. So now it's just in the status page, and it doesn't pop up all the time there. If you want to recall that, just press recall
as always,
for,
thank you for the great
well, I think 5 seconds long enough.
Try
Not
the
as much 3, but
sensitivity
5
of the
seconds.
activity 0 to 50% on at least the rudder. It makes things a lot better. Smile.
There we go, so then you can recall that.
320,
But yeah, we'll cancel that. And there we go. Now it doesn't always anymore. Hey, Tishke. As always, I think it's great entertainment. Thanks so much. Try the sensitivity, reactivity, 0 to 50, and at least the rudder. Okay.
Good evening. With 040 at 9 knots, runway 04 left, clear land.
I know what you mean, especially the rudder, so the steering on the ground.
Greetings from Freezy FHK.
But yeah, I'm talking about the flights. In flight, it just, again, it doesn't feel right. That's the thing. So, but don't worry about it. Thank you so much for the support. And Vezak, thank you as well. Greetings back to Freezy Helsinki. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the support. 16 months. So 58.2 final figures. And the CG is 31.3. And the block fuel is 6.2. So the alternate is Economo Tango Oscar, and for that we require 1.5 tons of fuel. There you go.
6 Papa, breakfast taxi.
So wind
Papa, taxi by Yankee, Alpha, Charlie,
right now we have an out of departure, no need for anything.
Yankee,
so last
Alpha,
thing to
Charlie,
do is get the performance.
Holding control 4 right, ready Bravo 4, Danish 86 Papa.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of snow here in Europe as well, apparently. So we'll take intersection departure.
Papa, ready Bravo 3.
Oh, holding Bravo 3, roger.
So that's, yeah, Bravo 3, that's what we'll do as well. Bravo 4 just seems a bit too much. So Bravo 3 is what we'll take. Hold on. 4 right. Bravo 3 it is. Well, runway's going to be wet, I think. Let's put wet. Engine anti-ice, so PEX. Alright, let's do PEX off and anti-ice on. Engine anti-ice. And let's calculate that. Flaps 1 down 0.3, flex 68. Excellent. The shift was 500. Is that correct? 32452. Shift is in. Fantastic. And then the last thing to do is quickly have a look at our airport info, and then we're good to go. So NADP 2. 1020, 1020. And 1600 is the acceleration. Just going to climb out runway heading to 25 miles to hold. Cool. So that's all set. Let me try one more thing here. So reduced 04 right, weather is okay, that's 145, 42, 62,
Danish 86 Papa, wind 040 at 9 knots, runway 04 right, is cleared for takeoff, wind airborne,
Are you ready for the departure brief? Go ahead.
Thank you. Clear takeoff, 04 right, Danish 86 Papa.
So, as briefed, going to departure route up to 4,000 feet, sorry, 70, transition is in 5,000 feet, taxi out, is as follows: pushback, taxi, then very likely via Alpha, Charlie, Bravo,
we are on
and Bravo is
15
3.
miles
What's going on here?
for ILS 04 left, and just to let you know, we had some trouble with an engine area, so we shut it down.
Malta 5635, Castle Tower, good evening, roger. Wind is 040 at 10 knots, continue approach, currently number 2.
Continue forward, Malta 5635.
Greenland 779, line up and wait, runway 04 right.
Any questions? No questions.
Line up and wait, runway 04 right, Greenland.
Cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins and covers. Removed. Fuel quantity. 6,180 kilograms. Seat belts. On. ADRs. NAF. Baro ref. QNH 1019 set. 1019 set. Cockpit preparation checklist completed.
Greenland 779, wind 040 at 10 knots, runway 04 right, cleared for takeoff, wind airborne, when you take it, you can have a nice flight, bye-bye.
We're going to use the FENIX standard pushback, so we don't have GSX anymore, for obvious reasons.
When airborne, monitoring intercom,
Danish 74 Papa behind the departing Air Greenland A310, line up and wait, runway 04 right behind.
Behind the Grønland, line up runway 04 right and wait behind the Danish 74 Papa.
Hold on, just need to do one more thing here. What's that? There we go. Alrighty. So, Scandinavian 711, stand Alpha 11 requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 711, push and start approved, QNH 1019, squawk mode Charlie.
Squawk mode Charlie is QNH 1019 and cleared for start and push. Scandinavian 71. Before start checklist.
And Scandinavian
Before start
711,
checklist.
just to confirm your
Parking
squawk
brake.
is 5202.
505. Can you say again, squawk, please?
Squawk 5202.
Okay, 5202 is now on Scandinavian 7. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I read back 0520 early on, but hey, there we go. Restart the checklist. Parking brake. Set. Takeoff speeds and thrust. V1 132, VR 142, V2 145, flex temp 68.
Yeah, Malta 5635, runway 04 left, clear to land.
Set and checked. B1 132, VR 142, V2 145, flex temp 68 degrees. Windows closed.
The flight clear takeoff, Danish 74 Papa, tack.
On.
Scandinavian 6903,
Before start checklist completed.
Line up and wait, 04 right, Scandinavian 693.
1610, welcome to Copenhagen, taxi stand Charlie 32 via Alpha, Foxtrot and Quebec, clear to crash runway 30.
Thank you, Alpha Foxtrot, American, say again, please.
Stand Charlie 32.
Double black box in the cockpit, yeah, I know. So that is connected. Release park brake released, ready for pushback. Here we go, how about that? Pushback, that's actually working. Right, cleared for engine start. Just make sure that we have good pressure. Starting engine 2. Okay. What happens with GSX? Don't ask.
Scandinavian 693, wind 040 and 10 knots, runway 04 right, clear for takeoff, wind airborne, monitor Unicom, have a nice flight, bye-bye.
Runway 04 right, cleared for takeoff, after airborne, monitor Unicom, Scandinavian 693, bye.
Have a good flight, MAN, fantastic. Well, how about that? A pushback that works. Starting engine 1. Okay. Right, let's turn off the lights in the cabin.
Ladies and gentlemen, all portable electronic equipment and mobile phones should be switched off as we are now about to start our pre-flight safety briefing. We are now going to take you through our safety procedures and equipment.
Would you restart engine 2? Like we're here would be on the right. Yeah, well, they are far enough away, so you don't have to worry about them. They're professionals. They know exactly where they need to be.
It also shows the bracing position, which you must adopt in an emergency landing.
Flight control check.
On the main
Ready.
deck, there are two exits
Full up.
at the rear of the first class cabin and
Full
two
down.
at the front and rear
Neutral.
of each other cabin.
Full left.
On the upper
Full
deck,
right.
there is an emergency exit on each side.
Neutral.
In the middle of the
Full
cabin.
left. Full right.
In the unlikely event
Neutral.
of having to use the escape slide, leave all hand baggage behind and use flight as they then tear the slide. Please now ensure that your table is folded away, your seat back is upright with the armrest down and your seat belt fastened. The seat belt is fastened and adjusted like this, and unfastened like this.
After start
When
checklist.
the fastened seat belt
Anti-ice.
signs are on, you must
Engine
go back to
anti-ice
your
on.
seat and fasten your seat
ECAM
belt
status.
securely. For your own comfort and
Checked.
safety, we recommend
Cage
you
trim.
keep your seatbelt fastened at all times and visible to avoid being disturbed in flight.
29%. Set and checked. Rudder
If the
trim.
cabin air
Neutral.
supplies fail,
After start
oxygen will be
checklist
provided.
completed.
Mask like
Scandinavian
this
7,
will appear
1 on request taxi.
automatically. Stay in your seat and pull a mask.
Scandinavian 711, taxi to holding point, runway 04 right, via taxiway Mike, Zulu,
Place the mask
Alpha, Charlie and Papa,
like
cross
this,
runway
and
30.
place normally, adjusting the band to secure
So
it.
holding point 04 right, Mike, Zulu, Alpha, Charlie and Bravo, and we'll
Set.
cross runway 30.
Your life jacket is underneath or beside your seat. In the event of landing on water,
And Malta 56.
Clear left side. Clear right
pass
side.
the tapes round your waist and tie them securely.
And Malta 5635, welcome to Copenhagen, taxi stand Alpha 32 via Alpha, Zulu, Kilo, cross runway
Look at that,
30.
starting to snow. GG.
Taxi to stand Alpha 32 via Alpha Zulu Kilo cross
Brake
runway
check.
30 and Malta 565.
Pressure 0.
Finally, ladies and gentlemen, please study the safety card and take notice of the fasten seatbelt sign. May we remind you that electrical portable items such as games, computing and word processing equipment may interfere with the aircraft systems and must be switched off during takeoff and landing. Portable telephones must be switched off while the aircraft engines are running. As this is
So
a low
Zulu
smoking
is going to be the
service,
second
the
one
no
to
smoking
the...
sign will remain on for the duration of the flight. Smoking is not
then we're going to go
permitted
to
at any time whilst on
Alpha.
board. If you have any questions, please ask one of the crew. Thank you.
To the left. Hang on, just going to check something here. What? I have a feeling that my ground communication is not right. That's correct. To the left, yeah. All good. Right. Yeah, that position there is completely off. I don't know what that is doing. So we've already been cleared to cross 30, so there's no need to wait. Here's Alpha to the right. I'm gonna put the strobe lights on. And then once we've crossed, we'll just concentrate on our track here. Because we're going to get onto Alpha Charlie and then Bravo, as expected earlier on. Yeah, I do as well, yeah. So left side clear, right side is clear, and then we go slightly left here onto Charlie. Until we hit the Bravo. Beautiful kind of atmosphere, isn't it? Right, strobe lights off again. Yeah, the livery again, I love it. Hats off, kudos to everyone that's able to actually do these liveries. I have high respect for them. So it's going to be Delta to the right. We're going to continue straight on Charlie until we hit Bravo. Taxi checklist. Flight controls. Checked. Checked. Flap setting. Config 1+F. Config 1+F. Radar and predictive wind shear system. On and auto. Engine mode selector. Normal. ECAM memo. Takeoff no blue. Taxi checklist completed. Right, here we go, right on Bravo. Once I get the brakes released. Hang on, did someone ask when I fly the 737? Yeah, we just flew that on the previous stream now. Anti-ice. Restart the checklist. Yeah, set and checked. ECAM status. Takeoff no blue. Takeoff no blue. Oh. Restart the checklist. Anti-ice. Engine anti-ice on. ECAM status. Checked. Pitch trim. 29% set. Rudder trim. Neutral. After start checklist completed. Taxi checklist. Flight controls. Checked. Checked. Flap setting. Config 1+F. Config 1+F. Radar and predictive wind shear system. On and auto. Engine mode selector. Normal. ECAM memo. Takeoff no blue. Taxi checklist completed. There we go. Yeah, I got a bit hung up. Right, so next one is going to be Bravo 3. And Scandinavian 711 is able. Bravo 3 ready for departure.
Scandinavian 711, roger. I currently have one aircraft. I think he's on final. I do not have contact with him, so just hold short Bravo 3.
Roger, traffic's in sight. We're holding short at Bravo 3. Scandinavian 711. That's interesting, no contact with him. Eurowings, okay. Right, Bravo 3 is identified, so the shift is correct. We'll leave that in. Just gonna hold short here.
And Scandinavian 711, line up and wait when we 04 right.
04 right, line up and wait, Scandinavian 711. Line up checklist. Takeoff runway.
Copenhagen Tower, hello.
04 right, takeoff runway.
Runway 4 right, confirmed.
Approach path, clear for traffic. Good evening, wind 040 at 10 knots, continue approach.
Crew, be seated for takeoff.
TARA.
Packs 1 and 2. Off. Lineup checklist completed.
I love the water on the windshield, that windshield effect. Fantastic. Right. I'm not sure if we really need a wiper, but yeah, might as well. I mean, my first officer will turn that on anyways, knowing him. He loves to meme me with the with the wipers for some reason.
Copenhagen traffic, good evening, Eurowings 211 vacating.
Oh, they are loud in real life. Yeah, yeah, they are. They're annoying.
211, vacate Victor 2, hold short Victor.
Vacating Victor 2, holding short at Victor, Eurowings 211.
Good. So, everything as briefed up 70.
Scandinavian 711, wind 040 at 10 knots, runway 04 right, cleared for takeoff. Wind airborne, monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a nice flight, and the Norwegians are waiting for you up there. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Awesome service as always. Runway 04 right, cleared takeoff after departure. Unicom 122.8. Have a great evening. Bye-bye. So, off we go. Ready?
Eurowings 211, how on earth do you think it's okay to land on a not active landing runway without contacting the tower controller?
You weren't online, sir, so therefore we didn't contact you, we were on short final.
Flex 68 SOS
I've been online for 5.5 hours. Get your shit together.
Calm down, man, I haven't seen you.
American taxi via Victor, Yankee and Lima, stand Alpha 18.
Stand 18, Victor, Yankee and Lima, Eurowings 11.
Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Cool. Right, now in flight we can turn off the Vipers.
Packs are on.
Thank you. Thrust, climb, up blue, auto thrust. Yeah, biscuits, no coffee, for sure. Right, I'm going to put the autopilot on, so we can have a lovely outside view here. Oh, look at that. Beautiful Copenhagen. Oh yeah. Spot on ICAO. Hey, Evers fan, just in time. How's the weather like? It's not so nice, is it? Flaps 0. Speed checked. Flaps 0. Sounded like JFK Tower, yeah. I fully agree. Beautiful. Engine anti-air is off. Tremonia, I'm right behind you. Well, not right behind you, but yeah, an hour remaining flight time. So not too far behind. Standard cross-checked. Passing flight level 060. Now, checked. Oh, here comes Outstar. Now I'm gonna climb straight up. There's no traffic there, so 380. You liar! You didn't have standard set. Right, gonna take notes here. Oh, I need to re-engage that. Sorry, yeah, let me refresh that. There we go, now it's working, right? Hey, Airbus fan, how is your simulator though? How's your sim running now? Must be brilliant, right? Cool. Let's clean up the fix info. That goes out. There we go. Do you see a big difference with your new rig? Well, definitely in VR, huge improvement. And now here in Microsoft Flight Sim, being able to use frame generation, which I'm not using today because of scenery issues when I use the X12. But normally when I'm offline and I'm flying, I have the X12 with frame generation, and you get up to 120 FPS, which is crazy. That's a completely different feeling. So definitely there is a big difference with the 4090. In real life, is the eco time point also not the flight plan only in the nav display? No, if you have a look here, MAN. So if you go to data, equi time point, there you have all the infos. So it's always defaulted to departure airport and arrival airport. And you can change that here. Any fix, any nav aid, any point you can change here manually and then get a new readout for the equi time point. Oh, okay, Airbus fan, I see. All right. Yeah, weather is bad at the moment, right? It's kind of misty and landing lights off. Seat belts off. Thank you. Yeah, so, I mean, so let's put it this way. If you get a 4090 and don't use DLSS 3, so, you know, frame generation in Microsoft Flight Sim, you will still be CPU limited. So even if you go and get a 13700 or 13900, you're going to have a little bit better performance, but not so great. So that's the only thing really where you would definitely see a big change if you go with frame generation, the 4090. What's the difference between VLE and VLO? Okay, so that is the limiting speed landing gear extended. So when the landing gear is out, it's 280 knots. Operation, so landing gear operation limit speed. So that's landing gear operational. When you extend the landing gear, you have to be 250 knots or below. If you retract the landing gear, you actually have to be 220 knots or below. Very important as a limit. That's what that placard says. Hey Ted, how are you? Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Can you tell us a little bit about how you start your day from waking up in the to be in the cockpit and ready for departure? Well, I guess it's something where you have to differentiate between your habits, your daily kind of, you know, procedures, and, you know, there's people that are good at getting up early in the morning, and there's people that would rather lie in. So first of all, it depends on if you have early shift or late shift. So early shift for me would mean sometimes having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe sometimes even 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. And there I try to get to bed early. Now obviously it doesn't work when you are in a normal sleep rhythm where you go, you know, to bed around, let's say, midnight. So it's going to take you a couple of days to transition to a sleeping habit where you can go to bed at, let's say, 9 o'clock in the evening and get your, you know, 7 hours of sleep. So if I'm at the beginning of a, you know, let's say 5-day early rotation, I would have difficulties getting to sleep at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, right? So I'm going to be sleep deprived in the first, you know, 1 or 2 days of my rotation. So I have to do a little nap in the afternoon. So I'll do that. I'll take a 30-minute nap, you know, to get me through the day. What helps is obviously fresh air. So going out, if you're an early shift, you come to the hotel, let's say 2 in the afternoon, 2:30 in the afternoon, you know, have a little nap, half an hour, make sure you don't sleep longer than that, and then just go outside. Do some sports, go and just walk around, yeah, enjoy, you know, the light, sunshine if it's possible. Then have an early dinner. So don't try to get to bed with, you know, your stomach full of food. It's not very good. So try to get early dinner, and then just have, you know, a resting period where you have, you know, read some books, and just relax, and then try to get to sleep early. Right. So that's kind of the, you know, the procedure for early shift. Late shift is different. Late shift means you will start your day somewhere around noontime, 1 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, and then work until midnight, sometimes, you know, 1 in the morning before you get back to the hotel. And there, it depends on your preferences. So if I'm, so for example, in Dresden, or if I'm in Berlin, I quite often actually get my wake-up call at 7 in the morning and then go for a jog. And that is really, really what I absolutely love doing. And when I come back, I'll have breakfast, and then I'll go and sleep again for an hour or two before pickup. That for me gets me nicely energized and ready for a long day in the afternoon or evening. So that's what I try to do. I don't try to sleep in for too long, because if I sleep like until 10, I always feel like, you know, hungover somehow. I feel like something's not right. So again, I'd rather wake up early, do some sports, get breakfast, and then, you know, have a 1 or 2 hour nap before pickup. And that way I'm good to go. I mean, you would be a late shift guy. Yeah, I know. It's, I don't know what it is. I don't know. You know, both sides have its lovely sides. So I tell you what's bad in late shift, summertime late shift, or even wintertime late shift means quite often your aircraft may arrive late. And it's always frustrating when you are beginning your shift and you're already late, right? You already have to explain to your passengers why you are late, because it's going to be your fault that passengers are going to be late, all right? So even though it's not your fault, but they don't care, right? Why should they care? You know, then you're already under pressure, trying to, you know, pick up some time and try to, you know, make up some time on the delay. So, and also in afternoon shift in summertime, you quite often get into that late afternoon thunderstorm period. So also something to be aware of regarding late shift. It's very bright. It's like full moon, isn't it? Yeah, almost. Yeah, so nighttime, Microsoft Flights is too bright. Are the northern lights visible? I don't think so, no. Thank you much, Tremonia. Yeah, so expecting that as well. So if we go to... Oh, Sanders, all the best wishes for that, yes. The weird thing is, again today, I've seen a post, I think it was on Instagram, a post about single pilot concept. And actually real world pilots going on about yeah, how, you know, how it's going to happen soon, and you know, how it's going to change stuff. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, yes, there are some changes coming, and over the next, so if you're just starting your career now, yes, you're going to be you're going to face some changes. But the single pilot concept is something that will take time to be proven safe. And so pilot costs has always been an argument about, you know, reducing the number of pilots in the flight deck, making them obsolete, you know, making the systems autonomous and you know, so reliable that you don't need experts in the flight deck anymore, right? Personally, we're still very far away from that. So the concept being developed right now is the single pilot cruise concept. Airbus is working together with Cathay Pacific on that in the A350, and that is just for cruise flight. So what they try to do is they try to get rid of the third pilot, so the cruise relief pilot or the senior first officer, whatever you want to call him or her. They want to get rid of that. That, of course, is an option, but even that requires certification. It requires a proof of concept, proof that it's still having the same safety level as having two pilots in the flight deck. But, you know, having a complete flight from start to finish, single pilot, at the moment, I can't see it happening. And I'll tell you another reason why. Having to do everything yourself, including preparations, ground handling. I'll give an example. So, just like today, I come to an aircraft, let's say early morning. I take the technical logbook, And while I'm looking through the tactical issues, my first officer is already preparing the aircraft, starting up power. So if my co-pilot is actually pilot flying, he or she will load in the flight plan, do everything with the setup of the autopilot, the nav aids, etc., etc., etc. So that work is already being taken care of, and I don't have to care about that. I'll recheck, of course, if everything has been entered correctly, but that preparation phase is already, doing someone else. Now, and I can say that sometimes the technical issues are so complex that it takes me at least half an hour to comb through everything, especially when there's several systems affected, where I have to make sure that these systems for themselves, which may be legal to depart with, but maybe in combination pose a certain risk in the end that I have to consider. So sometimes it just takes its time, and then 100% your phone will ring. The captain is responsible for everything these days. So I have days, the person will come and say, hey, there's something missing. One battery is, one of the flashlight doesn't have battery power anymore. There's a life vest missing. Catering's not correctly applied, right? So that we're missing some bread rolls, or some drinks or whatever. Coffee's missing, that sort of stuff. Then the gate will call me, right? Hey, we've got first class passengers, so the first class terminal is asking if they can send the passenger already, blah blah. So non-stop, right? You're gonna be just, you're gonna have to deal with so many things, and if I then have to do everything as well in the flight deck, I can't do any delegation of any tasks to someone else. I don't know. It just at the moment it just seems not possible. Simple as that. Paul, trust me, I've had that thought from time to time. But you have to remain polite, right? It's not their fault, right? The purser, it's not his issue. My problems aren't really the purser's issues, right? Unless I get really kind of a bad mood. But of course, the purser being responsible for safety and service on the aircraft, he's obviously concerned about that. So if anything is not correct in that aspect, he will contact me, right? And I have to then take care of that problem. Oh yeah, Tremonia, of course, yeah. Well, Brendan, yeah, that's the thing. So there has been some polls, obviously, and interestingly enough, while let's say anyone above 25, age of 25, will be very skeptical when it comes to these single pilot concepts, for good reason. There are also young people that actually they grow up with computer technology, and so they actually have a different mindset when it comes to that, and so they are going to have 360 optimum. Right. Sorry, I'm going to stop that. I'm going to go 360. Not start. I can change that. 380 is way too high. Right, TCAS going below. There we go. Not start. So yeah, who knows? Younger generation will accept that more likely than the older generation. Hey, Bone King, how you doing? Transferred to a flight sim stuff to a new computer. It took me several hours, but now everything's running well. 3080 and an i7 12700. I'm happy. That's cool, Bone King. Fantastic stuff. S4Fly says maybe single pilot for this next generation aircraft. Yeah. So obviously there's a certain ability for engineers to implement certain system updates or upgrades into older aircraft. But yeah, maybe some of the more Autonomous stuff will have to wait until you have a new generation of aircraft. Yeah. Yeah, that could be the case. Yeah. Oh yeah, interesting. So that real-world pilot was arguing, saying, well, you know, exactly that. Well, you can have a remote connection, and if anything goes wrong, you have someone on the ground taking over. Well, see it this way, and I don't know how to describe it so that it kind of, you know, touches you guys emotionally. If you step away a little bit from flight simulation, and I mean, you've been on an aircraft, right? And you've looked into the flight deck, and you probably were overwhelmed, even though you've had many hours in, you know, in the flight sims. Actually seeing the real cockpit is actually quite overwhelming. That's one thing. The other thing is, if you wear a uniform, especially with 4 stripes, and you look past the door, right, you're not supposed to do that during flight, but you look down the aisle and you have 150 people looking at you. You have children, babies, right? You realize you've got the responsibility for them. Each and every one of them. Each live, with all their loved ones, you have the responsibility for them. Now, if you put that to someone on the ground, that person is the one who has that responsibility for each and every life. So it's, you know, it's easier said than done. In the end, having that responsibility is something that does weigh on your shoulders. And if you are actually in that position, it really hits you. No, the FS2 crew, no. As much as I like the FS2 crew add-on, but no, of course not. Yeah, Mark, I know, right? How many crashes did you have? Just to, you know, because even I had crashes in the sim, right? I mean, yeah, Airbus fan. I mean, you know, of course, you get used to certain things. So, you know, there's a acclimatization, I think it's called. So, so you have, of course, you get used to dealing with the pressure, right? So when you're sitting in that seat here, you have 4 stripes. You don't always think about that responsibility. However, you're reminded very often about your responsibility. None you were awake for. Oh my god. The horror. 7,943 VATSIM hours, not to brag. Well, there we go, Bob. GG's. That's a whole lot of experience, yeah. Well, Sanders, that's another thing. So computer programs are very efficient if they're programmed correctly and programmed well. However, there's something computers don't have, and that is intuition. That is gut feeling. That computers to this very day is what they're missing. And human beings have an amazing ability to do very complex problem solving in a very short time span. And that's something computers lack. And the reason why you have 2 pilots here in the front is you want to reach a certain level of safety. And we have a saying normally in aviation, it is 10 to the power of -8. Right, so I don't know how many millions of flights for one fatal accident. And that is a safety level that is very hard to reach. And it definitely can't be reached with single pilot concept in an airliner. So 1 and 1.2 million. Yeah. So, and that has to be guaranteed. Anything else, anything that has a lower safety level will mean that an authority, someone responsible, accepts a higher death toll on average, which they seriously have to think about before accepting that, because it's going to be their blood. Oh, that's going to be the blood on their hands. And again, in theory, it's all very nice, but trust me, you hurt someone because you've done the wrong actions, made some wrong decisions. It's going to be on your conscience.
Sarah Papa Lima Foxtrot, go report passing altitude.
Polaris. Right, equal time point. Fuel 4.2.
Sarah Papa Lima Foxtrot, go identified, declared at Bergen.
Wind diversion is 2.3. Polaris Control, good evening. Scandinavian 711, flight level 360.
Scandinavian 711, Polaris Control, very good evening. You can expect ILS runway 35.
Fantastic. ILS 35. Copy it, Scandinavian 711.
And Scandinavian 711, I see you have requested level 380 on your flight plan. You're at 360 now. Do you want to climb or stay at 360?
Yeah, we're a bit heavy for 380 at the moment, so appreciate the 360 final. Scandinavian 711.
Scandinavian 711, roger. I'll just change that in your flight plan.
That's very kind. Thanks so much.
Nordic 638, turn left heading 170.
Left heading 170, Nordic 638.
Right, interesting discussion, right? I mean, I love it. Giving an example, autonomous driving, right? Weren't we all supposed to be already, driving around in cars fully autonomous? What happened there? Harry, how much is math used on a daily basis when flying rough? Does it need to be verified each time? Well, I mean, you do have obviously some arithmetic in your head. Be it when you order fuel, when you try to work out how much holding fuel you may have available, etc., etc., etc. So there's always going to be some arithmetic being done on a daily basis, but obviously anything very, very important to the conduct of the flight will be verified by other crew members. Yeah. Well, Stoll, I mean, I can tell you from my own experience, I will get things wrong from time to time. It's just a human thing. I'm under stress, and I order fuel, right? I look at the flight plan, and my brain says, right, we need a block fuel of 6.2, and I call the fueler, or I type in 5.2, right? If there's no one there to check the values and correct me, that mistake will go unseen. It will go seen because at some point I will notice in a checklist or something, I'll think, hang on, 5.2, hang on, I did 16.2. What happened?
Vision 4, Romeo Kilo 1 ready descent.
So, you know, small example. It's just such a complex environment, and there's so many complex decisions having to be made that, yeah, the risk of having a wrong or doing something wrong is there, and just having two people there monitoring each other just reduces that risk tremendously. Apple bailed out? Oh, have they? Okay. Yeah, Bob, me too. I missed the big balance as well, yeah.
Nordic 63, turn left heading 08.
Mercedes-Benz has license to autonomous drive in level 4, okay. Yep. Right, with the new act on autonomous driving, people have cleared the way for autonomous driving on level 4. The car can drive alone on a certain approved routes and no longer has to be registered by the driver. Oh, okay. Wow. What about the insurance, Dramonia? Who pays the bill when somebody gets killed? Who's responsible then? Oh, hang on, there's lovely opposite traffic there. I've just seen that. Lovely. A first officer has a tremendous amount of responsibility, yeah, absolutely. It depends, Harry, it depends. So, of course, you know, you have all kinds of means to make sure that you get the calculations correct. Be the calculator, be the computer. The driver, okay.
145, wind variable 2 knots, and 81 left, clear takeoff.
That's where I have a problem with it then, because if I have to still, you know, if I'm being held responsible, well, how much trust do I have in the systems? I don't think I would be very relaxed driving autonomously. Well, Edgy, theoretically, yes.
Vision 2 Delta Whiskey, request descent.
But, I mean, I'm sure that at some point the aircraft may, you know, go off the runway.
Vision 2 Delta Whiskey, turn left
you can trust
by 10
Skynet,
degrees,
yeah.
left by 10 degrees, support new heading, and then
hey, Club Class, how you doing?
I
have a question. Sometimes on the FENIX, I get
Roger, we'll
oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's a bug.
By 10 degrees, Vision 2 Delta.
Vision 2 Delta Whiskey, what will be your heading?
Yeah, Club Class, is there a prompt here on the maintenance on the ground? Ground service.
Whiskey, and report your new heading.
Or
sorry, it will be heading 024 degrees. Vision 2 Delta Whiskey.
Maybe that's in there somewhere.
2 Delta Whiskey, Roger.
Oh. FMS reset. No, thank you.
The other pilot called in polite control. Say again. I think you stepped on someone.
The weather is better than expected. Let me just check that again.
Nordic 68, cleared LS runway 35, report status.
Whiskey approach 3580, 10 degrees 5 knots, 10 kilometers, fuel 400. Oh yeah, that's better, yeah. That's
119er, decimal 1, bye-bye.
119er, decimal 1,
how's the MD-11? I haven't flown that for ages. Yeah, I need to try that again.
Scandinavian for 5, passing 2,800, trying for 7,000.
So, 1035. Oh, yeah, 1023.
Scanner 145, identified, decline by the SID, flight level 310.
Send SID to flight level 310, Scandinavian 145.
80 transition. And the minimums.
Airline 69 Juliet, Quebec, Paris, Ariane frequency.
Right, now, since we have a technical issue, so FCU 2 was deactivated by maintenance. That is broken. Flight control unit number 2, flight control unit being this unit here, consisting of the autopilot, auto thrust section and the EFIS control panel. So the channel 2 is inner. Circuit breaker is popped and secured. And because of that, we are not allowed to fly RMP approaches. So the only approach we could do is an ILS approach, localizer approach, VOR approach, that sort of stuff. Now, looking at the possible approach types here, we've got a VOR approach, we've got a visual approach, we have a ILS approach. Nevertheless, we want to make sure that we have a good and valid plan B, so a good alter airport. So Echo November Tango Oscar is very nice, 3505 Cabo K -7.
Greenland
So
779er, clear direct.
a very good airport to fly to then. So that's a good plan B. Min diversion is 2.3 tons. And currently
Ryanair 69 Juliet, Quebec.
we expect to have about a ton extra fuel.
Ryanair 69 Juliet, Quebec, Polaris, hello. Let's see here. Say your flight level, please.
Flight level 360, Ryanair 69 Juliet, Quebec.
Ryanair 69 Juliet, Quebec.
Yeah, Brendan, I mean, I would feel the same way. And right now, with the knowledge I have about reliability of aircraft and the way, you know, the work in the flight deck has evolved over time, and the way pilots are trained, the way pilots communicate, and do the problem solving, I have, you know, a lot of trust in that. When it comes to automation, my trust in that is limited. So
Vision sorry, Vision
yeah,
Delta
the thought of actually having a
for
flight
descent.
completely autonomous, that just does not go into my head. It doesn't compute. So in no way would I get on board an aircraft that only has one pilot, so an airliner, one pilot, or you know, no pilot. I just can't imagine that.
You can return flight level 120.
Roger, down to flight level 120, Vision 2 Delta Whiskey.
Well, Sanders, the really terrible thing is, in the end, it comes down to probability and accepting a certain level of risk. And we know that politicians and decision makers at certain levels, well, they may accept risks to a greater degree than we would. So in the end, it's the customers that will have to make the ultimate decision whether or not to board a plane or not.
Scan driven 711, ready descent, flight level 100, cleared Baba to Papa around.
When ready, descent level 100, and we are cleared the standard arrival Barup to Papa. Scandinavian 7, what on? Alright, Megas, yeah.
Scandinavian 693, maintaining flight level 170.
So I'm not really happy about the way they see, you know, certain things with, you know, their assessment. But in the end, luckily, the customer has the final say.
Descending 6,000, QNH 1023 Scandinavian.
So I'm going to go with British good. Because we have maybe some rain showers. So be prepared. And landing weight currently is 62. Yeah, let's go 62 tons then. Auto brake, let's go low initially. And 62.0. There we go.
Greenland 779er, descent 4,000
So we have
feet.
2,700 meters available, and auto brake low means 2,000, 2,274 as a factored landing distance. So that's plenty.
Flight control, I would also request a moment of holding at Idava.
What about electric planes? Well, I mean, in certain aspects, I would say that's not bad. So we're cleared for the arrival now. This arrival has potential for shortcuts. So I highly recommend, when you ever see something like that, Istanbul, for example, has one of those approaches. Go ahead and put the runway identifier onto the progress page.
Please say again the name of the other.
And look at that, 90 miles from the threshold. So I am going to descend now.
Sure. There is
I'm
no
going to
published
put this in
holding
open
point,
descent,
so
thrust
fly
idle.
heading 310 for now, and then
I'm going to check the restrictions. So Octos 90 above.
Okay, fly heading 310 for now.
So that's inserted. But that's not going to be any issues. Because that's only 30 miles. And we're not going to lose that much altitude.
3, correction 693, clear direct gooded.
So there we go. Are you ready for the approach brief? Go ahead. So we're going to expect the bar up to Papa arrival sector 5,500 feet. And expecting the ILS Whiskey runway 35, and the minimum for that is 370 feet. I have to enter that. Paro 370 feet. And the missed approach will take us straight ahead 350 degrees to Irdaf, and it's a hold, and we're going to climb 3,000 feet. Go ground charts, parking stands, airport info. Right, land distance available is 2,990, although available only for landing is 2,719. So we have 700 meters buffer or 500 meters buffer with auto brake low, and we'll fly this fully managed with flight directors. Config full, auto brake low.
Scan 693 descent 4,000 feet.
Descending 4,000 feet.
And any risks, threats? Right, okay, so, but, well, we have FCU 2 in op, but ILS should be no factor. We have full landing capability, so that's not a risk. Any threats tonight? Weather seems alright.
Scan 711 clear direct Idava. India Delta Alpha Victor Alpha.
Direct to Indava, thank you, Scandinavian 711. So there we go, that's already our shortcut. As feared, that's going to take us pretty much straight in. You see what I mean? And now we have the salad, as we say in Germany. Right, now we're high. Speed brakes out.
Scan driven 693 by Goodid, cleared ILS runway 35, report established.
Via Goodid, cleared the ILS 35 and call you back if destination Scandinavian 693.
Alrighty.
Set Papa Lima Fox Tango, vectors for ILS runway 35, turn right, heading 080.
Right, normal law, but looks like manual thrust, so...
Turn right, heading 080.
Flight director's not working anymore. Yeah, that panel has gone dark. Right, can't select anything anymore. Range doesn't work. What was our cleared altitude, guys?
Right, 020.
I forgot. Right, so 100 I think it was, right? Yeah, 100, correct. So 100 was the cleared level. Put that in the scratch pad. Right, ECAM actions. Autoflight, autopilot off. Right, clear autoflight. No. So I'm not sure what. Ah, there we go. So now we got the right to list here. Autoflight, autopilot off. Clear autoflight, clear. CB tripped on the overhead aft panel. Alrighty, so there we go. So very likely it's gonna be FCU 1 this time. There we go. There's popped. So that's confirmed. CB trip is copied. So clear CB, clear autoflight, autothrust off. Yeah, we noticed that. FCU 1 plus 2 fold. PFD Barrow reference standard only. Oh. Yeah, of course, so we can't switch that anymore. What else? What other options do we have?
Boeing 69 Juliet Quebec, request flight level 370.
So I can't change that. I can't really see much on the arrival there. You can see the track lines about right. Standby, exactly. So, there we go. We've still got this. Right, so standby it is. Backup Barrow. And if anything else, we have GPS data as well. So GPS monitor, it's a crude indication. But as a backup source, it's fine. Now, I'm going to have to tell ATC that he may have a wrong readout below 80. Find an airport with 1013, GG.
Scandinavian 693 established, ILS 35.
So, what do you think? What about, I'm going to start the approach now, or not?
1191, Scandinavian
right, so clear autoflight, clear.
Thank you.
Status, stop ECAM. Right, reset procedure we would have. We'd probably take the time to do it, because that's an important system to regain. Would we reset the circuit breaker? Would you push back the circuit breaker in this case? Scandinavian 711 request.
Scandinavian 711, go ahead.
Yeah, we just have a slight technical issue with the autoflight system at the moment. We need about, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes to do the checklist. So I'd like to slow down and just maintain over 100 until we've finished the checklist.
Scandinavian 711, roger. You can, if you want, enter holding present position, or is that not possible?
Well, it's possible, but it's going to be a very crude kind of a racetrack pattern here at this position. We're unable to program anything at the moment into the MCU.
Scandinavian 711, roger. Are you able to maintain flight level and heading?
Yes, we can maintain the level and heading. So, which level would you like?
Scandinavian 711, level 100 is good for now, and you can also maintain present heading.
Okay, maintain present heading, and we'll descend level 100. Be advised, we are unable to change our standard altimeter setting to QNH below level 80, so you may have a slightly wrong readout on your side.
Scan 711, Roger. Your closest traffic is 15 miles, and he's way below you anyway, so he's no factor.
Roger that, thank you. Right. So only if the QH says so, yeah. So definitely I would not push that back in because there may be a short circuit. Remember guys, we already had a system 2 failure. So I would be skeptical. I would think something in here may have a short circuit or something. So I wouldn't really touch that.
Left turns.
So reset, no success. So continue status. So continue ECAM read status. So Barrow ref standard only. Checked. And in-up systems FCU 1 and 2, autopilot 1 and 2. Auto thrusters in-up, CAT 2 in-up. So we're going to do CAT 1 now. And GPWS terrain is also in-up. Okay, so remove status, removed ECAM actions completed. Let's think about some stuff here. So facts. So we have normal ops. So this normal law. There is no alternate law. So we have full protections. What we don't have is auto thrust and autopilot system and flight director system. And also we've lost the ability to set the QNH. The QNH for Bergen is 1023. So if we set standard, how wrong is our altimeter at the moment? Yeah, 300 feet, very good. Low or high? Or otherwise, if we want to fly 10,000 feet QNH,
just for information, I will be vectoring.
What altimeter do we need? Or what do we need to have indicating here? You need to fly higher. So let's have a look. So let's set 1023. So that's showing 12.4 and that's showing 12.7. Indeed. Right, so you have to have an indication 300 feet higher so that you have the pressure level correct and then flying the correct altimeter. So right, that's good. And Scandinavia 711. Can we do an orbit here for a while?
Scandinavia 911, correction 711. You see her. That is right in the approach path, but you should be high enough. So you can enter left orbit.
Okay, left orbit, and I think we'll be ready in about 5 minutes. Call you.
Yeah, just call me when you're ready to be vectored in.
Work out. No, so there's no more switching available, so that's completely dead.
Vision 2 Delta Whiskey, it's level at 120.
So let's level off at level 100 first of all.
Vision 2 Delta Whiskey.
Now we can set things in here, so that's the works. The MCU.
1021, descend 5,000 feet, Vision 2 Delta Whiskey.
So that's all fine. So the ILS is indicating Bravo Golf, that's correct. Actually, it should be Bravo Romeo. Oh, disregard. Hang on. No, it should be. Let me just get the right chart open here. Approach. So. Is it altitude affected? No. Because we can read off the altitude here, so that's not too bad. It's a Cat 1 minimum, right? So we could still do Cat 1, but not Cat 2 nor Cat 3. But you can, of course, back up your indication with the radio altimeter later on. That's a good idea, actually. Just make sure that we have the right values. Yes, I'm flying raw data and manual. So autopilot, auto thrust is in op.
Roger.
No, I programmed that failure.
Telephone power is online. Contact telephone power.
Okay.
119.
So the question is, do we continue here or do we divert?
Thank you, goodbye.
Or let me ask you, are we going to be in any better shape flying to a different airport? Right, open question. Yes, Roger. I can't change anything anymore in here. That just doesn't work. That is completely dead.
We're way too high for that. We will try, but we'll probably need vectors to go back around.
The weather is good. Weather is Cat 1 minimum, so I can get an update for the weather if you like.
Roger, fly heading to 80.
So still 1 degrees. Fuel 400 broke at 17,000.
We'll fly heading to 80.
Wind is only 5 knots from the north, so that's all good.
Vision for Romeo Kilo, receiving on navigation direct Bograf, Oscar Golf Romeo Alpha Sierra.
So currently we are 21 miles out. If we go to the approach chart here, and look at this star. Right, we're somewhere here. 5 sector altitude, so we can descend further. And Scandinavian 711 is able to descend further, ready for the approach. Yeah, we'll continue, of course. Yeah.
Scandinavian 711, Roger. Fly heading 260, descend 4,000 feet, QNH 102 feet.
Descent 4,000, heading is 260, and just confirm 1022.
QNH 102
23, correct. Scandinavian 711. Right, so 260 at 4,000. So I'm going to enter those values there as a reminder, because I cannot set a heading bug, and I cannot set any altitude either. Any questions?
No questions.
Right, let's get the rest of the items going. So the elevation is 146. Okay, so that's all set.
Scandinavian 711, turn left heading 170.
Heading 170, Scandinavian 711. Right, so again, I can pull on that. It doesn't matter. I don't have any altimeter or any possibility to change the altimeter on the prime flight displays. But we do have the backup scale there. And you can see it's about 300 feet difference. So that's now the correct altitude. So I will fly according to this altimeter, and that should mean we should be fine. So 170 here.
Left heading 190,
Good night, Black Box.
Tremonia, good night. Thank you so much for flying along today. Take care. Have a good day tomorrow. Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
So 170. Status checked. Nothing new. Remove status. So 170, 4,000. That will be below MSA. So we've got to be careful. Just monitor that. So now outbound to the final course. Just checking the grid altitude. So white is no factor at all.
Scan
first
Raven
one.
711, turn left heading 030, cleared ILS runway 35, report established.
Left 030, cleared the LS35, call established, Scandinavian 711. Okay, so just add a bit more thrust there. So 030 on the heading, 4,000 feet, and cleared the ILS. Careful with the speed. So no need to dive down. We still have 25 miles to go. So I'd rather just go easy on the descent. So unfortunately I can't change the rose mode, anything like that. So I just simply have to go by the prime flight display here. Nothing else I can do. Well, Paul, that's a problem. I think if I was time critical, I would do pan. Right now, I don't think it's necessary, because we've told the traffic controller what's the issue. But I don't feel like I have to hurry things, so yeah.
Wait, and when I finished it, like
no, we're not visual. No, we're still under radar contact, Mark. Right, remember this is our main. This is going to be at 4,000. Sorry, yeah, 4,300 here.
Holding, and I will vector you
and
the approach runway 35.
At 4,000, indicating there.
Scan Raven 711, turn left by 10 degrees.
Left by 10, Scandinavian 711. So just waiting for the localizer now to come in. Approach checklist. Barrow ref. Standard set. Set and checked.
1013 set. Seatbelts on. Minimum.
Barrow 370 feet set.
Yeah, Raven 711 descend 3,000 feet, and just inform you're still cleared approach ILS 35.
Sending 3,000, still cleared the LS35, copied Scandinavian 711. Set and checked.
Auto brake.
Low. Low set. Set and checked.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist completed.
Landing lights on.
Good night. Black box.
Okay, man, take care. Good night to you. Thanks for flying along. So still 18 miles. Just checking my altitude here. So 4,200 feet altimeter. And we should be close to Godit then. So kind of missing the extended center line. There comes the localizer. So
okay, roger that.
350 degrees. And maintaining 4,000 feet for now, although we have to descent clearance of 3,000, so we'll do that. So it's just raw data indications now, right? We're going to monitor the track line, trying to get established onto the localizer. Just seeing the glide slope come alive as well. And trying to get a nice early stabilization. There's the runway lights. And from there, just trying to ease in there.
Airport 340.
Hey, Two-Tone Murphy, welcome. I hope you had a great stream. Big shout out to Two-Tone Murphy. Yeah, inbound to Bergen. We've got a flight
Airport
control
code
unit 1 and 2
340,
fault.
Welcome aboard the
flight
Captain Black
control
Box
gear,
Duo
evening,
Channel
identified
experience.
by the FCU, flight level
Could new
Speed check.
subscribers please make their way to
Flaps
the first
2.
class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and
So I'm
premium
going to aim
food
for
entertainment will be served.
3,300 feet here.
Airport code 340, climb flight level
And then we should have the
370.
final descent out of about
Climb
9
flight level
Ds
370, airport
from
code
the
40.
ILS there. Right, careful with the descent here. Can level off. So that failure means that we don't have, we can't change the standard setting anymore.
Greenland
We can't use the autopilot, we don't have auto thrust, and we don't have flight directors either. So 19.1.
Greenland 779, roger, fly heading 130.
Fly heading
Selected. So just slowly inching down to 3,000 feet here on that altimeter. Trying to maintain F speed here. The wind from the front. Thank you so much for the raid once again. A big shout out and a big thank you to Tudor Murphy for the resub. Big round of applause. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream. So 9 miles, yeah, that adds up. So that seems to be the right glide slope.
Air Portugal 340, clear direct Europa.
Gear down.
Gear down. Cabin crew, be seated for landing.
Fully established, Scandinavian 711.
Scandinavian 711, contact Flesland Tower 119er, Dave1, have a good night.
Thank you so much for all the help, 119.1, and thanks for the service, Scandinavian 711. Good night. Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Flaps full.
Speed checked. Flaps full.
So, I don't have a speed bug, obviously because the FCU's failed.
2,500.
I'm going to look into the performance again.
Radar altimeter
136 is my speed for the landing. 136. Listen Tower, good evening. Scandinavian 711 on the ILS 35.
Scandinavian 711 Flesland Tower, good evening. Wind 020 degrees 05 knots, runway 35, number 1, continue approach.
We continue Scandinavian 711. Landing checklist.
ECAM memo.
Landing, no blue.
Landing checklist completed.
Le Capitano, yeah. I know, right? I hear that often, yeah. Hey, Nico, thank you. Well, now, right now, I'm not worried anymore because we're established, everything's smooth, a little bit headwind. And just think about if we go around, procedure would be go around flaps, pitch about 15 degrees. There will be no modes. Although it could be that failure. No, it shouldn't be any modes. And then positive climb, gear up.
Scandinavian 711, runway 35, clear to land.
Clear land 35, Scandinavian 711. And we have to remember that we climb 3,000 feet. However, that's going to be 2,700 here and 3,000 on that altimeter there. So what do I look at now at the moment? That indicator there. So -3 degrees.
1,000.
Checked. Just going a little bit low.
1,000.
1,000 is checked. Oh. Ooh, that's a long leg. GG. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I said that pilots need to have a certain amount of experience and a level of training and proficiency where
above.
you can handle
100 above.
these indications, so raw data flying. Because these failures can happen.
Minimums.
Continue. And those shouldn't make you nervous, right? Even if it's if it were crosswind,
500.
bad visibility.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
And greased it. Nice. Alright. Spoilers.
Now
Reverse
that's
green.
how pros
Spoilers.
decel. Reverse green. Decel.
Manual brakes.
70 knots.
Checked. Alright, well, vacate here. Have my first officer do the after landings.
Scandinavian 711, contact ground 121.9. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
1219 over the ground. Thank you so much for coming online for the service, my guys. Thank you so much.
Anytime. A bit long wait, but anytime.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, it's gotten late. I feel bad. Sorry. Oh dear.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf
Please
of the
ground. Good
captain
evening
and the
from
entire crew, we'd like to welcome you to our destination.
Scandinavian 711 just
For your
located.
safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt
Scandinavian
fastened.
711, Flesland ground, good night. Welcome Mr. Blackbox to Bergen. Taxi Yankee and Echo, stand 27.
Yankee Echo stand 27. Thank you so much, and here's a round of applause for you guys. Thank you so much for doing the service tonight.
We'd like to remind you that smoking is not
So Yankee to the right here.
I am humbled, thank you much.
If you require assistance when you leave the aircraft,
So I've heard that there could be good reason to come here more often in the near future. So I'm sure we'll talk again.
advising you of your departure terminal. Please follow the signs to flight connections. This will lead you on to your
Right.
departure terminal.
So
Please check your gate number in the departure lounge. To avoid missing your onward flight, we strongly recommend that you go straight
After
to your
landing
departure
checklist.
terminal.
Radar and predictive wind shear system.
Card, please go directly to
Off.
the flight connections desk. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire
Off.
airline, thank you very much.
After
for
landing
choosing to
checklist
fly with us
completed.
Today, and we hope to see you again in the near future. Thank you.
So let's have a look at the parking stands. Sorry. Oh, was it 25 or 27? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, so again,
It was stand 27.
27, I thought so. Thanks a lot. Yeah, my chat knows, I forgot. Thanks so much. So Bergen, once again, thank you so much. Oh, Bergen, sorry, not Bergen. Bergen, thank you so much. Oh no, Echo. Right. Nico just ordered a Bravo throttle a couple of days ago. I was just about to start GSX, but I don't have GSX anymore, so can't start it anymore. Rocket delivered tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So for me, it has really helped. Landing lights off. Hey Brian, what's a better type rating to have if you want to fly on the 787? the Embraer or the 320 type rating. To be fair, I don't think either of those will help you with the 787. I think the 787 is a lot different. So the only argument would be fly-by-wire. But again, I don't think that really helps in that case. It's not good. Yeah, we'll take that. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.
Come back anytime and we'll be staffed. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, trust me, you'll get busy soon. Okay, thank you so much. So there we go. That's going to be on. Now what we can try is try to get that ground service, and then let's toggle the jetway. Does that work? I've had so many issues with GSX that today I kind of rage quit GSX. It's just pushback does not work at all. It interferes with systems. Today I couldn't steer the 737 anymore, so I had to restart the sim, etc. It's just a nightmare for me. Very short list, yeah. Parking checklist.
Parking brake or chocks.
Parking brake set. Set and checked.
Engines
off.
Wing lights
off.
Fuel pumps
off.
Parking checklist completed.
Right, so there we go. So quick run through again what happened. We had a FCU 1 and 2 fault. So the FCU flight control unit, so this thing here is part of the flight management guidance system, connects to the flight management guidance computers, and obviously it's an interface unit, so a hardware unit where you will input certain commands so that the fly-by-wire system or the flight management computer system can then act on it. So be it, managed modes or selected modes, heading, speeds, altitudes, etc. You can also, of course, enter data through the MCDU. So the flight management guidance computers will follow those inputs as well. So econ climb, econ descent, speeds as well. Yeah, you have a connection to the FARDEC, so the engine full authority digital engine control units, then regulating the thrust of the aircraft. And you, of course, have display management where certain modes are shown on the prime flight display, etc., etc. So today, with the failure of both FCU channels, so one was deactivated on the ground, so you can actually dispatch with one of these flight control channels in-up, and then during the flight, well, that can happen. All right, so the other channel fails, and then, of course, you're left with a completely broken FCU. So there's no more options there to input anything through that. So neither the auto thrust modes or autopilot modes nor the EFIS control modes work, and that's why you're stuck with that very basic indication, 40-mile distance on the ROSE mode. No more possibility to change QNH setting, and you are stuck with raw data flying. Luckily, it does revert to the flight path vector indication, so you have that bird to help you. And Yeah, so the difficulty is trying to assess the risk and, you know, look at your approach capabilities and then make a decision whether or not to land at a certain airport or not. Alex, thank you so much again for flying along. Yeah, if you guys want to try out raw data,
good night, black box.
In the FENIX, right, it's flight control unit failure. Now, I failed it through a wonderful app called the FSI panel, and there you can actually pop CVs now. And so you can, for example, I can now fail the MCD1 with certain conditions. If I just click fail now, oops. Excuse me.
Good night, black box.
Hold on. There we go. So if I say fail now, bam, failed. Right, and you will find that circuit breaker popped at the rear panel now. Runa, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for supporting. God mode, yeah. It depends on which side you're sitting on, Mark. Yeah. Also, you can simply clear the malfunctions through this. All the CVs are reset. And again, you can do all kinds of failures as well. Yeah, lots of possibilities. Also, you can put the aircraft into certain positions around the airport. You can practice landings that way, approaches, many different things. Nico, the app establishes me every time what the FMGCs, I guess, automatically switch to Rose mode. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sanders, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for interacting. Guys, the next stream is on Wednesday if you like. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for supporting. My dear moderators, as always, thank you so much for being here and looking over everything. And yeah. Henoik, thank you much for the controlling. Yeah, again, much appreciated. Big shout out to the VATSIM controllers who took the time, stayed up late to offer us the controlling here. And like I said, I'm sure we're going to be in Bergen fairly soon again. Looking forward to that. Okay, good night, everyone. Take care, and I will see you again soon. Good night. And Nick, of course, Nick as well. Thank you as well to you for the ground controlling. Again, guys, thanks so much for taking the time. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.